This is Jane. She's an educator. She chose this career because she cares about kids. She cares about Joey, who comes to school hungry and has a hard time concentrating. She cares about Molly, who is anxious about taking high-stakes tests. She cares about Miss Johnson, who has been teaching for 4 years and hasn't seen a pay raise. Jane and her colleagues know what's best for students because they work with them every day. But decisions on most of these issues are made by politicians and not Jane and her colleagues. Major education decisions aren't just made at the local level. They're made on the federal and state levels, from the amount of funding that goes to Jane's school, students, and contract to the amount of federal, state, and local testing that goes on in her classroom. But there's a problem. Decisions made by federal and state politicians could shortchange Maryland's schools and continue to overtest our students. Right now, Congress is working on reauthorizing the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, ESEA, which has huge consequences for the amount of standardized testing and federal funding for our schools. At the same time, Governor Hogan has proposed a budget that would shortchange Maryland's students, schools, and educators by $144 million. That's more than $3,600 cut from every classroom and $100,000 cut from every school in Maryland. It puts 2,500 teacher jobs or 4,200 support staff jobs that could put Jane and her colleagues at risk. But there's a solution. Jane and you and thousands of our friends and coworkers can let our representatives in Annapolis and Washington, D.C. know that shortchanging Maryland schools and overtesting our students will set back our progress. Here's how you can take action. Write a personal message to Senators Mikulski and Cardin, urging them to pass a new ESEA that reduces the amount of mandated standardized testing and creates more time to learn and time to teach. Visit don'tshortchangemaryland.com. Find out how these funding cuts shortchange students and schools in your county. Email your legislators directly from the site and urge them to reject these cuts and fully fund our schools. Call MSEA's legislative hotline at 1-888-520-MSEA. When you call, you'll hear the latest legislative update and then be connected with your legislators. In March and April, these decisions will be voted on. Legislators need to hear from educators. Make sure they hear from you too, right now. Don'tShortchangeMaryland.com.